massive anti-hijab stir continues to rock Iran. Amidst rising calls for the leadership to step down, the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has now issued a warning to the protesters. Listen in.
این نهال رو می‌توانند از ریشه بکنن. این نهال امروز تبدیل شده به درخت تناور. غلط میکنن فکر کندن رو هم کسی بکنه.
Khamenei also accused the country's enemies, including the US and Israel, of fomenting the riots. Now, the warnings comes after the Iranian activists called for fresh nationwide protests. All this despite the alleged brutal crackdown by the Iranian authorities that has killed dozens so far in the country. The Iranian government has blocked access to the internet services as the movement enters its 5th week. But the activists issued an online appeal for a huge turnout for these protests, calling it the beginning of the end. The appeal seeks protesters to gather at various spots where the security forces are not present to chant death to the dictator. The Iranian government has reportedly asked retirees of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to gather. The country's security forces have been carrying out a campaign of mass arrests, and they have detained various young activists, journalists, and even students. Now, the Iranian government's bloody crackdown on these protests has drawn international condemnation and new sanctions on Iran from Britain, Canada, and the US. The protests over the death of a 22-year-old Mahsa Amini, who died 3 days after being arrested by Iran's morality police. It has now turned heads globally. The stir marks one of the boldest challenges to the clerical rule since the 1979 revolution. The US President Joe Biden on Friday said that he was stunned by the mass protests, reiterating Washington's support for these demonstrators. Biden on Friday also called on Iranian leaders to end the violence against the country's people.
And I want you to know, we stand with the citizens and brave women of Iran, for real. For real. And who right now are demonstrating to secure their very basic fundamental rights.